Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Jadon Sancho will remain at Borussia Dortmund if Manchester United haven't reached Borussia Dortmund's valuation for Jadon Sancho by the end of July. Man United and Borussia Dortmund are 10 million apart in Jadon Sancho's valuation. Dortmund are demanding £80 million. We are prepared to pay £70 million. The Times said the other day that Man United are moving closer to reaching an agreement with Borussia Dortmund for Sancho. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Man United are directly talking with Jadon Sancho's camp. He said, "We're talking with his agents and people involved in the deal." Romano said not so long ago that Man United restarted talks for Sancho. And he said Man United are close to agreeing a 5-year deal with Sancho, which would take him under contract with the club until 2026. Fabrizio Romano revealed how much Borussia Dortmund want for Sancho. They want from between 77 million to 81 million pounds. Sancho has a gentleman's agreement with Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester United. Sancho's already agreed the personal terms. I'm very sceptical that we'll sign Sancho before the Euros. I was hoping that we'd signed him this week. Jadon Sancho actually said that he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. But he does have Man United transfer hopes, as Borussia Dortmund have been looking for replacements. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Man United were in continued negotiations with Borussia Dortmund over Sancho. German outlet Bild said recently that there's been no official bid yet from Manchester United and talks hadn't taken place. But I'm convinced that we will sign Jadon Sancho this time around, because Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price from last summer, because obviously last summer Dortmund were demanding £108 million. We was reluctant to meet that valuation. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so it has been a long-running transfer saga. But Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close. The personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and a contract that had been agreed. Dortmund set a deadline last year. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho did remain at Borussia Dortmund. Sancho's endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He's predominantly a right winger, and Man United need a right winger. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League. He will assure his goals. He's good at creating chances. Sancho's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. And he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. You know, they do know each other a lot because they talk to each other a lot. So they are the reasons. Now, De Gea, he is convinced he will stay at Manchester United and be Solskjaer's number one next season. I think we need to offload David De Gea in this summer transfer window because I reckon now he's had his years at Manchester United. He's enjoyed like 10 years at the club, so he has been a long servant. He is actually now our second choice goalkeeper because was it like towards the end of last season we decided to give Dean Henderson that number one jersey. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as one of the best keepers in the world. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and he was our number one for a long time. In the last couple of years though, De Gea has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. De Gea's got like 2 years left on his current contract and he's on 375 grand a week. Last season it said that De Gea made his transfer decision. He said he's preparing to leave Man United and Man United was set to pay off his huge contract. The other week there was talks of a swap deal between David De Gea and Jan Oblak to solve our number one crisis. If we sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get around £50 million. To De Gea's credit, I thought last season he produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February. He responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number one role, and De Gea put a very good performance out in the semi-final against Roma. But obviously cost us the Europa League final because he missed his penalty and he had 11 chances to save a penalty and didn't save one. Now, Jose Mourinho has taken a swipe at Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Mourinho said Man United had a bad season despite us finishing second. Obviously, we didn't win a trophy last season. Mourinho, we had him for like 2.5 years. He won the Europa League with us. He won the League Cup. He won the Charity Shield. And also got us a second place finish, I think, which was in his first season at Man United. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season with us. The reasons it didn't work out for Mourinho at Manchester United is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. In general, the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. So they are the reasons. But Mourinho has got a great pedigree behind him as a manager. He's won like 25 major honours. Mourinho's obviously now the Roma manager. He got appointed in as Roma manager, didn't he, towards the end of last season. He was at Tottenham not so long ago, Mourinho, but he got sacked. So that's the news on that. The news on Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid. Says Man United have reignited negotiations for Kieran Trippier. The Athletic said the other day that Man United begun negotiations with Atletico Madrid to sign Trippier. Kieran Trippier has been house hunting. Trippier has told his England teammates that he wants to join Manchester United this summer. And the Manchester Evening News said the other day that we revived our interest in Kieran Trippier as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. Wan-Bissaka is the only recognised senior right back at the moment, so we need someone to come in to provide him competition. We was in for Trippier in the January transfer window, but we cooled our interest because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. I think Everton have been interested in Trippier and so too have Arsenal. I think you'd get Trippier for around £18 million. Atletico Madrid will find it very difficult to recoup the £20 million they paid for him from Tottenham. His current contract at Atletico Madrid expires next year. He's highly experienced, Trippier. He's 30 years of age. Yesterday, I gave you the news on Christian Romero from Atlanta. Reports from Italy said that Man United were preparing a £39 million offer for Christian Romero. Atlanta are demanding £52 million, which is £13 million more than what we've offered. Man United have been in advanced talks to sign Christian Romero. Atlanta are hoping to sign Christian Romero on a permanent deal worth around $21.5 million from Juventus. He's 23 years of age, Christian Romero, and he is a centre-half. Man United still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. You know the news regarding Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Recently said Man United will offer Varane a salary that Real Madrid cannot match. Says we've offered him €12 million a year, which equates to just over £10 million in pounds sterling. And Romano did say not so long ago that Varane was refusing a contract at Real Madrid. He actually said we offered him a 5-year deal. The summer transfer window opened officially yesterday. I'm expecting Manchester United to be very active in this transfer window, but I'm also expecting teams around us to be active. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. And he is aware of how big this summer transfer window is for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative he gets the players Solskjaer he wants to recommend in. Because he hasn't been backed enough so far. But I'm expecting him to get the backing he deserves, reflecting on what the board recently said. Because the board came out and said they'll back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings, despite the Europa League final loss. Plus we've got John Murtaugh, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. And Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. Solskjaer has been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. But Solskjaer has promised Man United transfers in this summer transfer window, and he insists that we are in this summer transfer market for a striker. I'm expecting players to depart Man United in this summer transfer window, so in that aspect we'll generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. De Gea, I think there's a chance we'll sell him. Phil Jones, I think we need to offload him in this summer transfer window. We need to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get a lot more opportunities, because Williams seldom plays for Man United. He's our 3rd choice left back. I think we need to offload Diego Dalot permanently. He's out on loan with Milan at the moment. We need to offload Andres Pereira permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. We need to offload Matic. We need to offload Donny van der Beek. Van der Beek's only endured 1 full season at Man United. He was recently ruled out of the European Championships through injury. And he said not so long ago that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Solskjaer over his future. Van der Beek doesn't get enough opportunities. He only started, 4 games in the league last season. Most of his appearances came from the bench. I think we also need to offload Juan Mata. And we need to offload Anthony Martial. But there's a lot of players that will stay at Man United potentially past the summer. And I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. You know, I reckon obviously Henderson's going to stay with us. Luke Shaw's going to definitely stay with us. You know, Luke Shaw was our best player last season by far. and still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Harry Maguire, he'll stay with us as well. Some aspects of his game have improved. Harry Maguire was a big miss towards the end of last season. Harry Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle. He sustained the ankle injury in our 3-1 win against Villa. Eric Bailly, obviously we know he's staying because he signed a new contract until 2024 with an option of a further year towards the end of last season. He's a good centre-half Bailly, but my element of concern about him is injury prone. Lindelof, I think he'll stay for next season, but I can assure he hasn't got a long-term future at the club. And Wan-Bissaka, he's also staying as well. Not too sure about Paul Pogba. We actually fear losing Paul Pogba on a free transfer next year. We think Pogba's running down his contract so he can leave on a free. Fred, he'll stay as well, but probably not long term. McTominay will stay with us. McTominay is a decent player, but he's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. Bruno Fernandez, he'll obviously stay with us. Greenwood, he'll stay with us. Rashford will stay with us. Obviously, we know Cavani's staying for next season because towards the end of last season, Cavani signed a 1-year deal. Fabrizio Romano confirmed that. Juan Mata will stay for next season if he extends his contract. Mike McGrath from The Telegraph said not so long ago that Juan Mata was in talks over an extension on his contract. Daniel James, he'll probably stay with us as well. So there you go. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think he is aware of that. Next season, I'd say Solskjaer has got to win a trophy if he is to remain Manchester United manager. That's my opinion anyway. If we start off next season badly, then I think the pressure will be on Solskjaer, then he probably will end up getting sacked. Solskjaer, like I said, has not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Next season is going to be Solskjaer's 3rd full season because he's endured 2 full seasons at Man United so far and he's been in charge of the club for almost 30 months, which is over 2 years. Solskjaer is lucky to be still Manchester United manager. Let's be honest. We lost the Europa League final not so long ago against Villarreal. That was an absolute disappointment because that final against Villarreal was a big chance of Solskjaer getting his first trophy on the board as Man United manager. It was a poor performance in the final against Villarreal. Some of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer. I've already gone through with you the mistakes he made. I thought his substitutions were wrong. He brought his substitutions on too late. His first sub came on in the 100th minute. He should have taken Marcus Rashford off because he sustained a knock. And he should have replaced De Gea with Dean Henderson for the penalties. So there you go. And obviously, reflects on that Europa League final loss. There's some Man United fans that are Ollie out. But there was a lot of United fans that were Ollie out prior to that Europa League final. But I presume there's still a lot of United fans that are Ollie in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. He does deserve next season. If we do eventually decide to sack Solskjaer, who's going to come in to replace him? I think we need someone in with a proven pedigree and someone who's going to suit the strappings of our club, basically. The reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager now. So there you go. Like I said to you, I do have my concerns about Ole. My two biggest concerns about him, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. And his decision making concerns me because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive. But these things that I've got to credit Solskjaer for as well. He is. You know, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so I've got to credit him in that aspect. You've got to say Solskjaer's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, Solskjaer got us a second place finish last season. It wasn't an achievement, but you can see that progress was made from his first full season. Also, last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. That's a record. Last season he got us to the Europa League final. I know we didn't win it, but he's still got to give him credit for getting us to the final. It was his first major final as Man United manager. Ollie got us to the FA Cup quarter final. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Sorry about this one. You know, Solskjaer did well in his first full season at the club, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us a third place finish. We're in the Champions League for next season, which is good news from a Man United perspective. He has made good signings so far as Man United manager. He's spent almost £300 million and he's brought around 12 or 13 players in. No, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he's coming as well. I like the way he's promoted the youth. Another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. So there you go. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. We appointed Ole in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. I think it is a mistake giving Solskjaer this new 3-year contract because he won't see this new 3-year deal out. What we should do really is wait till he sees out his current contract and analyse how it's gone and then decide or not whether to give him this new 3-year deal. Solskjaer has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently over 2 years ago now. Solskjaer has gained managerial experience, reflecting now on he's been at Man United. Obviously before he was with us he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, didn't he? He endured 2 spells at Molde and at one point he was at Cardiff and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He got Cardiff relegated. And don't forget, Ollie managed the Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched from this team grow and develop. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, will always adore him because he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Ole is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sat since Ferguson was Moyes, Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. I am convinced that we can challenge for the title next season, providing that we recruit well in this summer transfer window. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. You know, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.